up, Aries gang? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. That's me. We're going to read your tarot cards here. As always, guys, these are general messages on YouTube. So that means that not every message every week will resonate with every Aries every time. Come in with an open heart, with an open mind, realistic expectations. If it's not your message this week, that's okay. Please release. Only take away the messages that resonate with you, motivate you, empower you, inspire you. That's what I'm looking to do here today, okay? You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. You guys know the drill. Let's try and have some fun and get you some insightful messages. Here we go for Aries. Aries. Let's do past, present, future, what to release and what to embrace. Here we go for Aries. Ooh, 2. Starting with 2. All right, so Wheel of Fortune coming in at the top. I believe Pisces had this as well. It may have been Sagittarius. Either way, it's Jupiter energy, which is now transiting through Pisces, Jupiter being a planet of good luck and good fortune. So wherever you are now, you're headed in a very positive directions. I'm sort of getting the idea of like the winds of change. Things are turning, things are changing. It might be sort of behind the scenes. You may not be fully aware of sort of what the universe is orchestrating, but it is for your best and highest good, so just have faith. Even if you are going through a bit of a transition, not all is lost here. In fact, some of you are going to have some sort of new connection that actually feels romantic for some of you. Yeah, wait, okay, I was going to say that makes sense to me. Sorry, having a conversation with myself here. Some of you, you're not in a place where you actually feel like you want to go out and date right now, because I think a lot of you are experiencing some sort of loss at work or a financial hardship, or just feeling like you're stuck in a corner and you're struggling to get out. The irony is it's setting you up for success, both. I don't know why I'm being told to say this the way I am, but it feels like the last thing you guys are looking for right now is like dating and love. And the thing is, it's actually a really good time to meet somebody and to put yourself out there and flirt, but you're feeling very shy. The Page of Wands, right? Usually he's very active. He's very assertive. He or she, right? Page of Wands. There's sort of this childlike innocence and this wonderment about going to, explore and see what life has to offer. And Wands can be very flirtatious, or just warmth in communication, the exciting conversation, getting to know someone, going here, going on a date, this, that. You have that coming up in your current energy. So if you're not utilizing a very Aries-esque energy, right, to go out and make the most of it and find joy in the ordinary, it's a really good time to do that. That's actually going to open up not only your perspective on life, right, it's going to remind you how amazing life is and all the beautiful things and opportunities that exist out there in the world. You will have to detach from your comfort zone a little bit, or more than that, choose to maintain a more positive mindset. And I know when you're going through very heavy stuff, that's hard, right? You're like, I can't find it in my being right now to be happy and positive and optimistic. It feels fake. It doesn't feel authentic. It's not about trying to be fake or phony or wear rose-tinted glasses. It really is just kind of the power of positivity. If you choose to see, the world as an optimistic place, well, then you're going to reap the benefits of those opportunities. And then vice versa, right? 5 of Cups. Clearly 3 things have been spilled here, right? The 3 of Cups, that's always part of sort of this 5 of Cups energy, is what has been lost, crying over spilt milk, woe is me, everything has gone to shit. When we're in this energy, though, it's like we're so stuck in that headspace of what has gone wrong that we frequently miss out on opportunities right beside us. The 2 of Cups that are quite literally being delivered on a tray, but your head is down, right? Your head is down on the bar, right? Some of you may be overindulging in alcohol, just putting it out there. Just be cognizant of that, guys. But yeah, that's sort of what I mean. This 2 of Cups, it's almost delivered to you by someone who you could have a very strong connection with. Some of you may be able to network for some sort of job opportunity, or even if it's just like a gig, a one and done, a client who it's almost like you meet in a very fortuitous way. So it could be romantic, it could be like a date thing. Others of you, it's just like this fortuitous, hey, my brother knows a guy who needs a guy and you fit the bill, or something like that. There's some sort of connection, and it's your 2 of Cups. In a weird way, it's almost being relayed to me as you had to lose this in order for this new opportunity to present itself. So in a sense, had you never lost whatever this was, you never would have gotten this new job or met this new match. So as uncomfortable as the fives are, yes, they're agents of change and chaos. This is actually a really good five because it's removing from your life what was holding you back, but you don't see it that way yet. This is removing from your life something that wasn't serving you, holding you back, something that was at minimum just blocking your ability to see the other, or something else that actually holds a lot more potential, something that would work a lot better for you schedule wise, job wise. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. As much as the Five of Cups can be like oh, that's a tricky energy, I'm not denying that a lot of you are going through a tricky energy, but I am encouraging you to take heart, to know that something about this actually does pay off in your favor. And I understand you may be struggling to see it now, so start looking. Just putting yourself out there, putting yourself in advantageous positions, job fairs, networking online, LinkedIn, dating apps, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. I know that it seems frivolous to some of you who are really in dire straits about, oh my God, I just got let go, or I need a job, or this and that. There's something lucky right now in the energy for your love life. I just see it. I don't know how else to describe it. And I keep being told to say, but because you're not looking for it, for a lot of you, that's why you're going to find it, because it's almost like it's your last priority right now. So as long as you're not closing yourself off to that, or shutting up that opportunity, you could meet a stranger on the street and, 2 weeks later you're dating, like exclusively. Like it could be something like that. And yeah, it's so funny. It comes to you because you're not looking for it. You're not obsessed about it. You haven't been, flipping through the apps over and over day and night. It's divine timing. So with that, know that, let's say some of you are going through a hard time financially, or just in between jobs, or maybe you had to take kind of an in-betweener job and you really don't like it. You're really unhappy. How did I end up here? I don't want to do this, etc. Again, that's temporary. Fives bring about that change, and it's energy you have to work through. Usually fives, it's not a time to just sort of space out and be lazy and, oh, this too shall pass. Usually fives are like, no, we got to step up to the plate. If you're not happy here, okay, what job are you going to apply to? Or, who do you need to speak to get that attention or get that extra clarity? Or, fives really, they challenge us to step up into our power, and that's exactly what you need to do here. There's reward for it, again, multiple times over. So what is it? Tell me about this Wheel of Fortune. Let's just hop right to the Wheel of Fortune because that's happy. Your anxiety is going to lessen significantly. You're going to start sleeping better at night. And if you are struggling with that, I guess I would just pose, well, what are you doing? How are you being a good self-advocate to deal with that insomnia or that stress, that anxiety? It will pass. The world is opening up, literally, right? With all the vaccines going out, etc., right? Your perspective on this issue is going to change ever so slightly too, or for some of you drastically. There's an expansion, there's an inflation, there's a broader perspective, there's a wider view, there's a higher perspective, something more in tune with your intuition, with the divine. It releases you from something that feels more oppressive and more, I don't know how else to say it. It feels confining. There's liberation from that, okay? Music therapy would be really good for you guys, especially more alternative forms of therapy, but specifically something with music. If any of you are musicians out there, it would be a great time to kind of lean into that skill, that talent. Maybe you're going to pick up a new instrument and start to learn it. There would be something very soothing and spiritually fulfilling right now for you guys to do music therapy. And I'm almost seeing something with I know this sounds silly, but xylophones or chimes or something where you would I'm seeing I don't know. Yes, chimes, but I don't even know what instrument this is. I'm seeing someone who is a mallet or whatever you call it, and I guess that's chimes, right? Or I don't know what that is. I'm seeing it though. But it can be any instrument. And for some of you, just music therapy, shutting out the world for a couple hours, putting on the headphones and just mellowing out. Sometimes that can be the best therapy in the world, so don't underestimate that, right? Music has tremendous healing powers for you right now. Some of you are going to sing, especially if you've always been shy about singing or sharing your voice, being more vocal, or Yeah, there's something about, there's like a release, a liberation, and it has to do with your throat chakra. Some of you may be doing work on your throat chakra. Some of you, okay, that's funny. Some of you are going to have the opportunity to sing for the first time publicly, or go out and do karaoke or something, where again, it's like your voice comes, and if it's not vocally, it could even be your writing, your article, your printed word. It comes into public eye, and it's very profound. I almost said profane. Isn't that interesting? It's very powerful. Maybe you're going to get something off your chest. You're not going to mince words about it. Something very Aries-esque about that. All right, what is it that Aries needs to release or let go of? The need to be right, especially at the cost of your own health. Knowing when to walk away and not feeling bad or shamed or guilty about it. If you tried your best, sometimes just the acknowledge of, that's not for me anymore, and I'm okay with it. I don't need to apologize, or I don't need to make excuses for why I hung in there, or why I didn't leave earlier. You need to release the need to yes, be right, but it's funny, I'm also getting kind of people pleasing with that too. It's like something here, it's like it's over, it's done, it needs to be put to bed, it needs to be put to rest once and for all. But there's also something very like, well, I don't know, there's something kind of authoritarian about, well, not until I say so. What are you trying to prove? Is sort of what I'm hearing. I know that's a tough love message. I don't mean to offend any of you ever. That's never my goal here, but at what cost do you need to be right, especially to your own health? You may be burning the candle at both ends, or putting all this effort and labor just to prove that it can succeed, when general consensus is like, it didn't really work the way we thought. Let's scrap the project. Let's do something else. That's important for a lot of you. It's like this, no, I can do it. Just give me another chance. I admire and I applaud your tenacity and not wanting to give up, but some of it has to do with more, you don't want to give in to almost like the bruising of the ego. Well, what will the group think if they know that the project I was the leader on didn't work out? I don't think anyone else is necessarily looking at it like you are. I think you're giving yourself a lot of I'm hearing like responsibility. You're giving yourself a lot of headache, a lot of problem that I think you don't want to be associated with the failure, but I think it's only you giving yourself that title of the one who failed. I don't think other people view it as that. The need to be correct. I keep wanting to say that, and again, I'm not offending, totally get it. Just, if it's your message, take it, and if not, think about it, right? Is it your message in a way that maybe you're not wanting to see, or that you have trouble seeing? The need to be right, the need to win at all costs. Who wins? Certainly not you. You don't win in that scenario. With the Ten of Swords, it's no one touch it. I got it. I'm going to make it work this time. You can, right? But is it worth it? I think it's valuable sometimes to know when to call it quits, when to pull out gracefully. That's really important. You put a lot of pressure on yourself, Aries. That's what I mean. I didn't mean to make it so negative, but it's like you hold yourself accountable and responsible for a lot more than I think you need to in this scenario. Allow it to taper off. Allow it to flow naturally. Allow the universe to sort of take back control of something that wasn't meant to be yours. Releasing it gracefully, understanding that something else is coming in, and it's something much, much better, much bigger. It has a lot more success tied to it. I really wanted to say music therapy. What should Aries lean into? What could be helpful of them? What could be helpful to them, rather? Help available to them in this scenario or in their current situation. What would be helpful? What should they be aware of? What should they look into? Anything I can tell them? It's kind of the same message, to be honest with you. Something about nickel and diming. Someone nickel and diming you, avoid them. Or maybe it's you, vice versa. The nickel and diming thing. I'm getting a lot of metaphors, but it's not really sticking in terms of like a main story thing. Something that catches the eye, it's not always worth going for if you don't get more research about it. It's So sort of that expression, not everything that glitters is gold. I'm getting almost the idea of when, I know this is silly, but like when a cat sees something, it wants to pounce on it and play on it. But then it, like, when you look at it, you're like, oh, that's not exciting. I don't want it. There's something about don't be tricked by the gold, by the flashiness, by the title. Not all that glitters is gold. That's just important to remember in the coming weeks about a business deal. Don't be afraid to negotiate for a higher salary, even if it puts you in a bit of an uncomfortable position. It really has to do with respecting and honoring yourself and the talents, the skills, the abilities you bring to the workplace. I see you working for like a miser or working with someone who's very cheap, but again, at the cost of the project. Like it's not just being, you know what I mean, frugal. It's beyond that. It's someone who's not willing to pay you what you need. Raise your standards. As best you can. I always feel like I need to give all these little PSs because people will interpret this message a million different ways. It always happens, right? The message I think is the most compassionate and kind and inspirational. Someone will be like this, like, you know. So I have to say I'm never trying to offend, right? If these messages help you, take them and run with it. The PS to that whole don't fall for the flashy price tag, I think you may be working with someone or have the opportunity that presents itself where someone, I just don't know if their energy is super trustworthy, and that's not to provoke fear in you. It's just, you know, heads up if that offers you confirmation on something you're already feeling. If you are one of the lucky people out there who has the luxury of being choosy about jobs right now, that's the message. And I underscore, I know that's not everybody. Right? I'm not saying that to lack sympathy or not be sympathetic. Sometimes we have to take a job because we got to pay bills, and sometimes that's life. Some of you, if you have the opportunity to coast for another couple weeks, I would wait for a different offer that comes in rather than going with something that you already anticipate it's going to be a hassle. It's a pain in the ass. I don't like working with that person. They're already really lowballing me on the thing. Of course you can take it, right? Even if you do, there's nothing wrong with that, but I would anticipate that you're probably going to jump from that or leapfrog off of it very soon after. Don't settle for lowball offers. Or if you do, don't get too comfortable because you're meant to do bigger things. That's all I'm trying to say there, okay? Yeah. All right, Aries, I think that's what I got for you this week. In fact, let's finish it off with the Page of Wands. Okay, I was going to say, any more about the whole flirtation story? Some of you, I know you're not looking for love, especially if you're not looking for love. Some of you may find it in the coming weeks. And even if you are, I'm not saying you won't, but it's funny how that works. It's like when you put your time and energy into something, a lot of times other things fall into place naturally because you're showing the universe that you're putting in the effort. You're here and you're living your best life for you. That's when you tend to meet romantic connections, at least from what I find in the tarot cards. So possibly something with a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You got the Queen of Cups showing up. This might be someone you work with. This may be someone you've already met before who, and I want to be very clear, this is not infidelity, this is not cheating, this is not that story. You may have made friends with someone who at the time was dating someone else, but they always kind of had eyes for you. I don't think there was any infidelity or any inappropriate behavior. You know, maybe you guys texted once or twice, but just kind of like a friendly, hey, how you doing? They might be single very soon and they have their eye on you. If that's the case, I think this person has enough respect for themselves and others to not instigate third party. I'm really not getting anything about third party. But yeah, I feel like some of you know who this is. That person who you were like, oh man, like they're cute, but I wish they were single and they weren't. That might come back around again, especially with a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, especially a female Cancer. Yeah, this person would be willing to break it off with their ex in theory in order to pursue something with an Aries. I sort of keep getting that. Yeah, there's a victory there. There's some passion. There's a little bit of success there. Could certainly be a new sign as well. Anyway, all right, I'm going to leave you with that, Aries. We'll end on a higher note. So if you stayed with me, God bless you. Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you. Remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you next Tuesday for more tarot. Bye, Aries.